Hey, what's going on? This is Johnny Vaz. Here to talk about the origin of people in general, not just black people, white people, but people in general, based off of what I've learned and the knowledge I gained from, reading, watching, Discovery Channel or whatever the case may be. You can ignore that Dragon Ball Z behind me. That's just that's some morning shit, but. The origin of man, even though different religions say the same things, that they all come to one conclusion that man came from dust or dirt, and it's pretty much self-explanatory that dirt is brown, and whether it's dark brown, light brown, it's still brown regardless. So the first man on the face of this planet was brown. You know what I'm saying? The sun. Despite popular belief, the sun gives off radiation, which causes mutation, which is why the things on this planet mutate, and they mutate according to the environment that's handed to them. So the first man was brown, and then as they spread out, as they spread out and they divided into colonies and they went to different sections of the earth, different sections was exposed to different kinds of radiation. Like they said, the white people originated from the Caucasus Mountain, the origin of black people, which is so-called Africa, or what Malcolm X like to say, the so-called Negro or whatever like that, which is Spanish, or Negro, which is Spanish for black. That's how we got the name in the first place. Different areas was exposed to different type of gamma radiation, and we, as human beings, mutated accordingly. You know what I mean? There is no better race or anything like that. It's just that each of our cells was changed to fit the environment. You know what I mean? But bottom line is the first man was brown. It wasn't no particular kind of race or whatever like that. It's just a matter of mutation. That's all that was. The same reason why I'm black and you white is the same reason why a polar bear is white and a brown bear is brown. It's self-explanatory. A polar bear is white to fit the environment. He mutated to fit the environment when the bears migrated. This is why the snow is white, the water's clear. You know what I'm saying? The better adapt to his environment. And a brown bear is brown, because the trees is brown, the dirt is brown, to better blend in with the environment. The same reason why black people are black and white people are white. White people originated from the Caucasus Mountain. Well, the Caucasus Mountain is surrounded, it's surrounded by clouds. It's white, it has snow and everything like that. It's better to blend in. You know what I mean? And black people are black. The jungle's dark. You know what I mean? It's the better blend in with the environment. There is no greater or superior race. It's just a matter of adaptation. You know what I'm saying? And as humans progress, and this is a known fact that as human progress, like 100 years ago, the average height of a man was 5'5". 10 years ago, the average height of a man was 5'11". Now the average height of a man is like 6'1", 6'2". You can see this mutation or this origin going on where, you know what I'm saying, back then, there was no such thing as obesity. You know what I mean? That a lot of things and germs and diagnoses are freshly coming out. Around 50 years ago or 70 years ago, polio was a problem. Now polio don't exist no more. You know what I mean? It's all about like transformation. You know what I mean? If you can understand that that there is no greater race or regardless of that the whole origin. Like if I were to strip my skin off or strip your skin off, we both bleed the same. Our internal flesh is both pink. It don't matter who it is; it's all pink. You know what I mean? When we die, all our skeletons look alike. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of where your ancestors mutated at, and then your DNA and your cells adapt accordingly, and it's passed down from generation to generation. The Bible says the Son is the Father and the Father is the Son, and that's a true statement. What that statement meant was that all you are is a different version of an original person. You know what I mean? All the black people in the world and all the biracial, and it don't matter. We're all different variations of one being. That's my belief system. We're all the same. We're just different versions and have different aspects and different qualities of the same original being. That's all that is. We're just, versions, clones. You know what I mean? As far as culture is concerned, different cultures is learned from different aspects. You know what I mean? Like I said in that email, that the Indians at one point in a period of time used, unknown to them, used to do shrooms. They used to do what our modern day drugs is wasn't a problem then, because back then they didn't even know what it was. 50 years ago, cocaine was legal. You know what I mean? And when they took these drugs, thus, I believe in a sense the Bible about that part, Moses talking to the burning bush, and the burning bush started talking to him and shit like that. The motherfucker was high off his ass, but about the burning bush and everything like that, because the Bible is a big metaphor, so you can't just go off one book. You got to read the Quran, you got to read each different kinds of religion, and you got to piece it all together. What was I getting at? Oh yeah, cultures. It's just different things of what you exposed to, different ideas, you know what I'm saying? Like the idea of the car or the idea of the television is just different ideas, and people adapt accordingly to what they believe is fun. There was different things that were available to them. Like white people might go skiing or whatever like that, but look at where the white people originated from. They originated from mountains. So yeah, it'd have been an idea. Ain't no fucking you can't go skiing in Africa. You know what I mean? Ain't no snow to go skiing on out there. But in Europe, there's plenty of it. So it all depends on what your idea of fun, of what your environment pertains to. Like, it's like the difference between the ghetto and the suburbs, or the ghetto and the country or whatever like that. The country, they horseback ride, they do all this shit. In the ghetto, we outside, you know what I'm saying? We took the garbage cans and we made go-karts out of them. Them big green things. We used to cut them up and make go-karts out of them, using crates as basketball hoops and things like that. But it's what's available to you. Or, like the impoverished get creative ways of coming up with different kinds of food, that most of the gourmet food that's available to the rich people right now were originally created by a poor man. You know what I mean? Just getting creative, like the chopped up hot dogs and your macaroni and cheese or something like that. You know what I mean? Like sugar bread. Sugar bread is you go out here in the suburbs, it's a gourmet treat. Bottom line is sugar bread. Yeah, they call it something else, but you put butter in it, you roll it up, and you dip it in something sweet, and they got all type of cinnamon or whatever like that on it. That's the black man's invention. You know what I'm saying? That's the poor invention. And then they take it out there and they doctor it up, and then they throw a price on it and they make it a gourmet food. You know what I mean? It just depends on what's available to you, and the creative process of the human being. My father always used to tell me that the human presence or the human mind is unpredictable. You know what I mean? People come up with great ideas all the time. People adapt. He was like, ain't it a beautiful thing where you can cut yourself and it heals up? Now, ain't that something special about your own self, about your own body, how you heal? You know what I mean? How you could think, how you could create stuff, how you create a language, how you could create ideas, how you could create cartoons. It's just the imagination, because we're all, a variation of one being. It's just being a part of us. You know what I mean? So the question isn't about like what race came first, because I still believe that the Asians have the longest history, even though One Summer Sky said that it was black people, with the what you call Zimbabwe people have the oldest history dating back to 1200 BC. I still think they got Asian culture like Sao Sao and Lubu and stuff like that dating back to 4 BC. They got artifacts dating back to before that. This is one of the primary reasons why I have a hard time believing in Christ being a demigod and all this other shit like that, because he's not even that old. You know what I mean? People were long in civilization before this holy book came to part, and plus that it's missing and got chunks of missing information in it, and you can't just follow the story without knowing the whole picture. You know what I mean? But that's as far as that could go. That's my synopsis, if I use that right. About the origin of man, and that I believe that we all are created from dirt. It's a proven fact that dirt is nothing more than dead skin. You know what I mean? Dirt is going to be anywhere where humans are. Or dust. Dust is dead skin. The dust on your fan, the dust on the top of your ceiling fan, the dust in the corner of the floor, because humans shed millions and millions of skin cells, you know, every day, and that's where dust come from. Dust is nothing more than dead skin. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And you know, so to every lie there's a truth. To every truth there's a lie. And that's what I believe in. I'm gonna do a video about death next. But I hope that Saul answered most of your questions in regards to, you know, there is no better race. There is no such thing as race. Only the human race. It's just a matter of, the reason why people put race out there is because, okay, we all come from one original being, correct? And I guess there's jealousy and envy that comes into place. Or, you know, why do white people hate black people so much, but then they sit their ass out in the sun and try to get tans and get booty injections and get breast implants? Or you hear about Sarah Bartman, where when black people first came over to America, there was a woman who had big full breasts and a big round butt, and the white men would go crazy over them, and then they tried to, you know, sell her out, prostitute her, and then when she died, they dissected her body and everything like that. It's just, you know, a part of your mutation. You know what I mean? And I think the whole race game came into jealousy, because I don't think people understand that we're all just different versions of one being. You know what I mean? And there are people out there in the world who's afraid of getting their genetic code rewritten. Like, they're afraid. The reason why whites, in my opinion, the reason why I think whites are more scared, you know, I hate to use that word, scared of blacks, is because blacks the black gene overpowers white gene. You know what I mean? If there's enough, if biracial people keep getting with biracial people, they're not gonna get lighter, they're gonna get darker. You know what I mean? If one biracial woman has sex with a biracial man, and then their child has sex with another biracial, and it keeps going, keep going, they're not gonna get brighter and brighter and brighter, they're gonna get darker and darker and darker. And I think this is like a great fear, where they fear that the planet's gonna be overrun by one gene, because even though we all are anyway one gene, but I think it's just that fear of you know, your genetic code being overwritten. Like, some people take pride in their own family values. Some people take pride in their last name, but just trying to separate themselves from the rest of the world. You know what I mean? Where they try to name their children after their last name. It's all about tradition, but it's a false fear. It's insanity. You know what I mean? There are black people in America right now that look just like me, with the wide nose and full lips or whatever like that. Like, a lot of people don't know, my grandmother was mixed. You know, my grandmother's mixed. Her grandparents, Richard and Dorothy, they were white. They were full-blooded, you know, French white people. But look at me. I don't have a trace of, you know, them in me, but I have white ancestry. But it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's just that fear, that some people fear that their genetic code going to be overwritten, that Hitler believed that the supreme race was Aryan, blonde hair, blue eyes, and then they would attack other white people that didn't look like them and everything like that. But they're scared that their whole genetic code or appearance is going to be overwritten. But the fact of the matter is, we're all just different versions of one being. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you getting mad that you sleeping in your own goddamn bed. Why are you mad at yourself for sleeping in your bed? You know what I mean? But, you know, that's just, it's stupid. It's stupid, but people suffer from this fear for real. Like, if a black man go out and date a white woman, and her parents are mad that the child's mixed, because they mad that the baby is going to be overwritten with black genes. That they're worried that their family values, or their family aura or genetics is going to be wiped out. This is why Queen Elizabeth and all them other motherfuckers, anybody in royal position, did incest. They didn't want some commoner or some, you know, it's all about classism. It's classism. They didn't want somebody who they deemed as a peasant or filthy or below them to inherit the crown of king one day. You know what I mean? So they kept it in the family. They believe in incest, and this whole European ideology is floating around in America to this day. This is the only reason why. The only time it's jungle fever is when it's concerned with black people. The only time you're biracial is when there's black men involved. Why aren't you know, Japanese and Mexicans, why aren't they called biracial when they get together? Why ain't Chinese and white, when they have sex and have a child, why ain't that child called biracial? Why ain't that all out in the news? Why ain't that a problem? Why is it only a problem when it got something to do with black people? It's that fear because the whole black presence is like, it's different. It's different, you know. Mexican hair, Indian hair, white hair. It's different but similar. But black hair and the black appearance and the black man period is just a whole new. It's a whole new different aura. It's a whole new different presence, and people just have a fear that they're gonna be overwritten. That's all that is.